Barbara. I'm driving home. I've had a very busy weekend. As you know, I went to the Laurel Park in Laurel, Maryland to watch the Kentucky Derby. And I saw them carrying out on the TV screen this big urn. I thought it was some dead horse's ashes, and my sister started dying laughing. She goes, "No, Debbie, that's the trophy." And then I saw them carrying this red blanket. I thought it was a blanket. And my brother goes, "No, Debbie, that's what they put over the horse's back when they win the race." I said, "Oh." And then I hadn't seen my girlfriend that I've known since 7th grade for way over a year. Her feelings were very hurt, so I went out to dinner with her last night, and we talked for 2 hours. It was the thing of it is, you never ever neglect your friends, and I have another friend in Ocean City. I need to call her. She just got back from Vegas, the one that I go to Mexico and the DR with. I've neglected her. I need to call her. But I was able to talk to my sister in Front Royal, and she was glad to hear from me, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, don't never neglect your friends. But this video is about some of the things I learned in my divorce, or I wish I had done. Number one is I didn't ask the right questions. I had gone to 7 to 10 attorneys, and when they found out, my assets, they wanted a retainer of 50 grand, and I'm not making this up. And I said, he has all the assets at the moment because I left and moved away. So what I should have asked is, can we motion the court to have him pay for the divorce? That's what I didn't ask. And none of them brought it up. They just thought I had, I could access, 50 grand like there was no tomorrow. But even though the business was half mine, I mean, yeah, I guess, and the bank account was in my name. I guess I could have done that, but I wasn't going to do anything to hurt that business, because I could have cut a check for 50 grand. Maybe I should have done that, since the bank account was in my name. He was just a signer, but I kept forgetting, that you could go get a temporary check. You don't have to use the checkbook. You could use anything, a piece of paper, and just write down the checking account and, the ABA code. But this was during when the banks crashed. Remember that? This is when there was no money. I guess that's why I never did it, because I would have thought of that. Yeah, because this is when people lost their homes. I lost a home. Now I got something in my eye. Yeah, I should have asked that, and I should have asked the attorney, and they never, like I said, they never volunteered this. But yes, you can motion the court. Now, the one thing that I did do that I'm very proud of is that I got emergency spousal support. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to wait to the end of your divorce to get this. You motion the court. It's the juvenile and domestic court, and I had an emergency court date within 2 weeks, and I just wrote down what I needed to survive and what I'm used to, and I put down $4,000 a month. So for my bills, right? Well, then he did a not a Liz Pendants. Was it a Liz Pendants? Maybe it was a Liz Pendants. I forgot the word. I have to research it, but whatever. He motioned the court to have that reduced, and my attorney, I gave them $9,000. They ate it up in 3 months because they ate it up doing the interrogatories, but they changed all of my answers. I had already done it. I should have known. I didn't know this. I'd never been divorced before. I handwrote all of my answers right on the interrogatories. I should have submitted that and saved my $9,000. They would have taken that in my own handwriting. But I guess my attorney, they typed it all up and changed every one of my answers, and their answers were wrong. Oh my God. And then I wouldn't sign it. So then it looked like I had never done the interrogatories, but I did. I should have asked for my paperwork back and submitted that myself. You see, you can do so much of your own divorce yourself. You don't have to have the attorney, but see, I didn't know. I thought they had to do the interrogatories. See, I had already done it for them, but they would change the answer and put, this is too involved to talk about or to respond to at this time, something like that. And I'm going, that's craziness. That's what an interrogatory is, to get answers, right? So, yeah, they ate up all my money, so I didn't have anything. I mean, I had sold 90% of my own furniture. I had sold a piece of property that I was so proud of in West Virginia. I sold it for half overnight just to survive. So, here's another big mistake that I made. I very rarely took a paycheck from the company. And when I did, it was only during the high season, which would be, May and June or July. And I would only, and then of course I, took out withholding with all my employees. I did the 941s. What I should have done is even all year round, I should have taken a paycheck and threw it in the drawer if my company didn't have the extra money for me to cash it. That's what I should have done. But I was always looking out for the company. That was a mistake. I should have looked out for myself. And I always thought I was always going to be married. I never thought that I would get a divorce. Never. I would have never allowed that. I would have never. Yeah, we had issues, but I never saw myself as a divorcee. I didn't want that stigma. Well, sometimes people, you can't help that. Like a lot of people have, filed bankruptcy and stuff, and they're afraid of that stigma. Let me tell you, some people have to do that. I have never filed bankruptcy. I've never been late on any of my bills. I think in 25 years, my credit was always excellent. That was my number one mistake. And the other mistake I made is I never thought I would live this long. Okay, so I only took, and I always thought I would get married again or find somebody, and that hasn't happened. So I never thought I would live this long. So I only got alimony for just a certain amount of time. I thought I'd get married again or I would not be alive, because I had had 5 major operations in like 5 years. So I didn't think the quality of my life or I would live this long. Well, guess what? Never guess when you're going to pass. Even when I was 16, I never thought I would live to see 17, right? Yeah. Do not base your divorce decree on how long you think you're going to live or if you're going to find somebody else, because you're going to be dead wrong. You cannot assume those things. So, I do know that my ex borrowed money from a friend of his to pay for the divorce. Now, I have a couple rich uncles, and I tried to call them, that I had gone to Thunder Valley with, had gone to the drag races, spent a lot of time with a couple of my uncles. They wouldn't even return my calls, because they knew I was good for the money, right? And here's another mistake. It doesn't matter what your spouse did, or who hit who, or who fooled around on who. the division of assets, especially in my state, which is Virginia, is even 50-50. 50-50, no matter what. So at the time, I took what I thought was 50-50. Here's my mistake. I should have also taken future assets when the economy recovered, but I wasn't thinking like that. I did not have a financial advisor. I should have put on there when and if the company that I owned ever sold, that I would get the proceeds. But he started a new LLC and never closed our LLC. So evidently you're allowed to start an LLC at any time, doesn't matter. Well, what I should have put in my divorce decree, at any time that the company is sold, that I'm to get half the money. Didn't think that way. I never thought about 10 or 20 years from now. And I should have, because I gave him the business, the land, all the fleet of trucks, I should have also put that if the land is ever sold that I own like 300 acres in Fredericksburg, that I would get some proceeds from that. Because he had it in his side of the divorce decree just to sign all the property over to him. Well, he gave me a piece of property that said free and clear, but it wasn't free and clear. So that made me mad, because there was a lien on the property. Like, there was like 5 pieces of property. They were all connected. It wasn't free and clear. I had to satisfy that debt in order for the sale to go through. So even though it may say, free and clear, if you don't check to see what liens are on your property, then you could get in trouble. You have to satisfy that debt, right? So I learned a lot. And sometimes when I speak about this on my channel, a lot of the men who are, MGTOW guys, men going their own way, they get mad that I am educating the public. And men can go for this too. If you're a stay-at-home man, you can do this too. It's not all about just the females, people. But yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. Now I'm paying for them now, that's for sure. But there's one thing that's undeniable, and that is I am happy. I am happy. But because of the trauma bonding, in my mind, subconsciously, like when I, dream at night, in my dreams, I'm still married to him. And I asked my little sister about this. I said, do you think he ever thinks about me when he's dreaming? And she says, no, probably not. And I said, well, why not? And she said, because you were much more invested in the marriage than he was. Men have this ability to go right from one pussy to another with no problem. But I looked at marriage and my vows as a lifetime, forever commitment. And men, it seems like they can't survive without a woman in their house. I've been by myself for 14 years, other than the couple times my son moved in. But yeah, these are the things I wish I had done, I wish I had known. And I was just very naive, because nobody in my family had ever filed for divorce. And then when I filed, it happened like all at once. 2 other sisters, well, one of them was already in the midst of getting a divorce. So as soon as this was happening to me, it took 7 years in court for mine. 2 of my other sisters got their divorce. It seems like they were like just waiting for a green light. But I do know that when I was married towards the last 10 years, I was the most unhappiest person in the world. I actually went to a mental hospital for depression, and I told my doctor, who was sleeping while I was talking to him, and I called him out on it. I said, I am the unhappiest person in the world. That's how I felt. And I lost 40 pounds. Now, one of my nieces is going through a divorce. I heard she lost 30 pounds. I call that the divorce diet. Yeah, that's what it is, the divorce diet. Now, some of my relatives or friends or whatever you want to call it, they didn't believe a lot of the things I was telling them. It's because they don't know what goes on behind doors, people. You don't know. So if anybody is telling you stuff about their marriage, I guarantee you 99 times out of 10, they're telling you the truth. Because if it's embarrassing to them, it's kind of like the truth. Because it was embarrassing to me to tell people what was going on. It was very embarrassing to me. Why would I have put that on myself if I was making it up, right? Of course, every attorney I saw said, well, that's not against the law. Well, it is in my religion and in my life, right? The McDonald's, I got a cheeseburger, didn't even eat it. It smelled funny. I just threw it away. Oh, my God. My taste buds have changed. Even my sister told me the same thing. I think your taste buds change when you get older. I did not give me a straw. So, yeah, my hamburger is still in here. It just smells and tastes funny. So, yeah. It was, I think, my divorce, I would have rather gone through anything else in my life other than a divorce. It was sickening. I never could eat for 4 months. I drank Pepto-Bismol. That was the only thing I could tolerate. I don't even know. I know I stripped down naked, looked at myself. I had lost all my breasts. I lost my butt. I was nothing but a stick, and my bones were sticking through. My bones were sticking through my body, and I said, oh, my God. I have to say, oh, my goodness, sorry. I actually prayed to God to get my appetite back. Well, I got it back all right. But yeah, I would not wish divorce on anybody. It is horrible. So that's enough of that.